What's up, you guys? It's Steve here with breaking news coming out overnight. If you haven't already heard, it's all over the news. Finally, after a year of negotiations, a deal has been reached. An agreement has been made between Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin for a new reconciliation bill. Now, in this video, I'm going to get you all the details, what's included in this bill, what's not included in this bill, what the path forward is going to be, and if they're going to be able to get this all done before those midterm elections. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, take a look, you guys, coming out everywhere. In a major boost to Democrats, Manchin and Schumer announce a deal for energy and healthcare bill. Manchin, in a reversal, agrees to quick action on climate and tax plan. That is right, Joe Manchin is on board. Senator Joe Manchin suddenly backs Biden's climate and tax bill. Biden's agenda is, in fact, back. Manchin's latest shocker, a $700 billion deal. After spiking earlier talks, Manchin agrees to a new deal on climate and taxes. Democrats Manchin, Schumer agree on $430 billion tax, drug, and energy bill. And like I said, you guys, I'm going to get you all the details, but this is now going to be called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. No longer Build Back Better. Take a look. Here's the official press release that came out yesterday from Senator Joe Manchin. Today, U.S. Senator Joe Manchin announces that he has reached an agreement with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to vote on the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 will address record inflation by paying down our national debt, lowering energy costs, and lowering inflation healthcare. Now, we're also going to be diving into this article that just came out an hour ago, what's in and what's out of the Democrats' inflation fighting package. So you guys, I'm going to get you all the details on that. I'm going to let you know what the path forward is, cover everything after finally over a year of negotiations. We're seeing the reconciliation bill passing through. Man, I know a lot of people gave up hope, but it is finally happening. So we're going to get into all the details. Now, fourth federal level stimulus checks, as you know, are no longer included in the reconciliation bill. They have been removed out along with several other provisions. And a lot of people are wondering, are we going to be seeing legislation for a fourth federal level stimulus check before these midterm elections? Are they going to get passed through? And if not, is the president going to be passing executive orders and executive actions to get it done? As right now we're hearing under consideration are different proposals for fourth federal level checks, for gas, for inflation, for a potential recession, which we're hearing could be happening right now. And a lot of economists are saying that a recession will equal more stimulus checks. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date, but also this morning, I checked the website, www.reliefroadmap.com. Nearly 4,000 people have entered their email to find out about state, city, and county checks, because a lot of people don't realize it's not just the federal checks, that there's actually state, cities, and counties sending out money right now as well. And I was up late last night, woke up super early this morning, adding to the list. I have found tons and tons of programs in California. We just heard that Florida, they're going to be releasing their own state stimulus check. Also, we just got word that Texas, they have $24 billion in state surplus that they're trying to figure out what to do with. And you guys, that means that right now there are programs happening you might not know about. And even if there aren't, does it mean that tomorrow your state, city, or county might not pass a program? So the purpose of this is to make sure that you know about everything, because a lot of these stimulus checks that are available, they're only available for a limited amount of time. Not a lot of people know about them, and in many cases you got to apply, and if you miss the window of opportunity, you miss out on the money. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out, because we're hearing about people missing out all the time. So to stay up to date on that, go to my website, www.reliefroadmap.com. Enter your email, and as soon as I have this comprehensive list ready, I will send it to you. Please bear with me. I want to get it done before the end of this month, but it is just quite the undertaking. Like I said, spending hours and hours assembling tons and tons of programs, stimulus checks available across the nation in every city, state, and county, but going to have that for you so you don't miss out on anything. So keep an eye out for that, you guys. But let's go ahead and dive into the latest on this new deal that has been reached with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senator Joe Manchin. And we're going to be seeing the way forward, what's included and what's not. Now, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. Just hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. All right, you guys, so link in the description below to this article that came out from the Associated Press about an hour ago today that says what's in and out of the Democrats' inflation fighting package. And it says what started as a $4 trillion effort during President Joe Biden's first months in office to rebuild America's public infrastructure and family support system has ended up a much slimmer but not unsubstantial compromise package of inflation fighting healthcare, climate change, and deficit reduction strategies that appeared heading toward a quick vote in Congress. And that is after over a year. And also, as you'll recall, progressives actually wanted to see significantly more. They wanted to see 6 trillion, 7 trillion, as much as 10 trillion. We had heard some people say with monthly reoccurring checks, child tax credits, unemployment extensions, wiping out student loan debt, all of these provisions, which actually are no longer in this bill. Take a look, you guys. Lawmakers are now pouring over a $739 billion proposal that was struck by two top negotiators, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and holdout Senator Joe Manchin, the conservative West Virginia Democrat, who rejected Biden's earlier drafts but surprised colleagues late Wednesday yesterday with a new one. Now, what's in and what's out of the Democrats' 725-page Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 as it stands now? Now, first, here's what's included. Lower prescription drug costs. Launching a long-sought goal, the bill would allow the Medicare program to negotiate prescription drug prices with pharmaceutical companies, saving the federal government some $288 billion over the 10-year budget window. Now, those new revenues would be put back into lower costs for seniors on medications, including a $2,000 out-of-pocket cap for adults buying prescriptions from pharmacies. Money would also be used to provide free vaccinations for seniors, who now are among the few not guaranteed free access, according to the summary document. Next up is going to be help pay for health insurance. The bill would extend the subsidies provided during the pandemic to help some Americans who buy health insurance on their own. Under earlier pandemic relief, the extra help was set to expire this year, but the bill would allow the assistance to keep going on for another 3 years, lowering insurance premiums for people who are purchasing their own healthcare policies. Next up, it is the single biggest investment in climate change in U.S. history. The bill would invest $369 billion over the decade in climate change fighting strategies, including investments in renewable energy production and tax rebates for consumers to buy new or used electric vehicles. It's broken down to include $60 billion for a clean energy manufacturing tax credit and $30 billion for a production tax credit for wind and solar, seen as ways to boost and support the industries that can help curb the country's dependence on fossil fuels. For consumers, there are tax breaks as incentives to go green. One is a 10-year consumer tax credit for renewable energy investments in wind and solar. There are also tax breaks for buying electric vehicles, including $4,000 tax credit for purchasing a used electric vehicle and $7,500 for a new one as well. Now, in all, Democrats believe that the strategy could put the country on a path to cut green gas emissions by 40% by 2030 and would represent the single biggest climate investment in U.S. history by far. Now, how's this all going to be paid for? Well, the biggest revenue raiser in the bill is a new 15% minimum tax on corporations that earn more than $1 billion in annual profits. So going over after those big corporations. It's a way to clamp down on some of the 200 U.S. companies that avoid paying the standard 21% corporate tax rate, including some that end up paying no taxes at all. Now, the new corporate minimum tax would kick in after the 2022 tax year and raise some $313 billion over the next decade. Money is also raised by boosting the IRS to go after tax cheats. The bill proposes an $80 billion investment in taxpayer services, enforcement, and modernization, which is projected to raise another $203 billion in new revenue, a net gain of $124 billion over the next decade. The bill sticks with Biden's original pledge not to raise taxes on families or businesses making less than $400,000 a year. Now, the lower drug prices for seniors are going to be paid for with savings from Medicare's negotiations with drug companies. Extra money to pay down the deficit as well. They want to deal with this inflation. Take a look. With $739 billion in new revenue and some $433 billion in new investments, the bill promises to put the difference towards deficit reduction. recession. Federal deficits have spiked during the pandemic when the federal spending soared and tax revenues fell as the nation's economy churned through shutdowns, closed offices, and other massive changes. The nation has seen deficits rise and fall in recent years, but overall, federal budgeting is on an unsustainable path, according to the Congressional Budget Office, which puts out a new report this week on long-term projections. Now, what is left behind? What is out of this bill? As we mentioned, stimulus checks, child tax credits. Take a look, you guys. This latest package, after 18 months of start and stop negotiations, leaves behind many of Biden's more ambitious goals. While Congress did pass a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill of highway, broadband, and other investments that Biden signed into law last year, the president's and the party's other priorities have slipped away. Among them, a continuation of the $300 monthly child tax credit that was sending money directly to families during the pandemic is believed to have widely reduced child poverty, no longer included. Also gone, for now, are the plans for free pre-kindergarten, free community college, as well as the nation's first paid family leave program that would provide up to $4,000 a month for births, deaths, and other pivotal needs. Also, as we mentioned, we have not seen any student loan debt wiped out, no child tax credits, no unemployment extensions, no stimulus checks. All of these originally had been proposed, wanted on the wish list for progressives, all stripped from the bill. Now, as you know, progressives have said they've got a laundry list of executive orders and actions lined up for the president to start coming out right after this bill is passed and right before the midterm elections. Now, we will see, and I will keep you up to date on whatever unfolds. But there you have it, you guys. That is the latest breaking news coming out overnight that finally, after over a year of negotiations, an agreement has been reached suddenly overnight for what was the Build Back Better bill, but is now known as the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. So there you have it, you guys. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button for me if you appreciate the updates. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Leave your comments. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? I'll let you know what's happening with breaking news, stimulus, Congress, the economy. All you got to do is very quickly hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Also, if you haven't already, add your email to www.reliefroadmap.com. We almost have 4,000 people now that are saying we need to know about all the checks available. I'm going to be assembling that comprehensive list and releasing it here hopefully soon in the coming days. It's quite the undertaking. Please bear with me. Please be patient, you guys, but I want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything, and I'm going to keep it regularly updated. And also, you guys, consider joining the second channel, Steve Ram Finance, if you want to learn about growing wealth and personal finance as we navigate these turbulent economic waters. And once we get checks and we get assistance, we get back on our feet, how to start growing wealth and change our lives financially on that second channel, Steve Ram Finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.